Most of us know that Jussie Smollett was found guilty on 5 of 6 charges at his hate crime hoax trial. But just in case you know nothing of this story, here's a video showing Jussie Smollett being attacked. And here's Jussie Smollett reporting his attack to the police.
Hey, buddy. Terry, here's your words. Here's your words.
I was murdered.
You were murdered. Okay, you obviously weren't murdered because you're alive and you're basically intact. You weren't murdered, buddy. You weren't murdered, buddy.
After news spread of Smollett's alleged attack with zero proof, of course, the woke, always pandering politicians jumped right onto the bandwagon. Bernie Sanders, the racist and homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is a horrific instance of the surging hostility towards minorities around the country. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. AOC the commie donkey. There's no such thing as racially charged. This attack was not possibly homophobic. It was a racist and homophobic attack. If you don't like what is happening to our country, then work to change it. It is no one's job to water down or sugarcoat the rise of hate crimes. The sleepy, creepy Joe Biden. What happened today to Jussie Smollett must never be tolerated in this country. We must stand up and demand that we no longer give this hate safe harbor, that homophobia and racism have no place on our streets or in our hearts. We are with you, Jussie. Kamala Hills Up Harris. Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or color of their skin. We must confront this hate. Harris was also asked about this tweet, and her response was great.
Which tweet? What tweet?
About saying that it is a modern-day lynching, that...
Sorry.
Yes, Jussie Smollett.
Okay.
And not to be outdone or left out, the blue check mark mafia and the celebs jumped on the bandwagon as well. Reese Witherspoon. This is beyond upsetting. What happened to Jussie Smollett is a truly horrible, racist, homophobic hate crime. I hope we can find an end to the hate and fear that plagues this country. Praying for your recovery, Jussie. Ariana Grande. What happened to Jussie makes me really fucking sick to my stomach. I can't believe shit like this is really still happening every day. What kind of world? Sending all of the healing energy, love I possibly can, and hoping for change. What can we do? Tell me, and I'm there. Zendaya. This is heartbreaking and terrifying. Please pay attention to what's happening here. Sending all my love to Jussie Smollett. Joy-Ann Reid. Nooses never really disappeared as messages of a very specific kind of terror. But every time they're used, my God, it's chilling. Praying for Jussie's full recovery and for us all. The artist formerly known as Ellen Page took to Stephen Colbert to have a chat about Jussie.
Of a media that's saying it's a debate whether or not what just happened to Jussie Smollett is a hate crime. It's absurd. This isn't a debate.
I agree.
Sorry, I'm like...
Not at all.
I'm like really fired up tonight, but...
This is how you have to be fired up.
It feels impossible to not feel this way right now with
the
president and the vice president, Mike Pence, who like wishes I couldn't be married. Let's just be clear. The vice president of America wishes I didn't have the love with my wife. He wanted to ban that in Indiana. He believes in conversion therapy. He has hurt LGBTQ people so badly as the government of Indiana, and I think the thing we need to know, and I hope my show Gaycation did this, in terms of connecting the dots, in terms of what happened the other day to Jussie. I don't know him personally. I send all of my love. Connect the dots. This is what happens. If you are in a position of power and you hate people and you want to cause suffering to them, you go through the trouble, you spend your career trying to cause suffering. What do you think is going to happen? Kids are going to be abused and they're going to kill themselves. And people are going to be beaten on the street. I have traveled the world and I have met the most marginalized people you could meet. I am lucky to have this time and the privilege to say this. This needs to stop.
Here's Ron Howard and some guy.
And this is like a hate crime, and I'm trying not to cuss because it's the worst thing that's possible. The worst thing. I'll cuss. It's infuriating.
Absolutely.
So I think that covers it.
What do you feel like is going to happen to the perpetrators? Or what do you think they deserve?
Have they found them yet?
They haven't found them yet.
Maximum, whatever the maximum. Yeah.
But rest assured, there were a couple of people keeping it real on this Jussie Smollett hoax, and one of them was number 45.
I have the case of this wise guy, Jussie Smollett, who beat up himself. And he said MAGA country did it, MAGA country. Okay? He said MAGA, that's a hate crime. That's a hate crime. And it's a scam. It's a real big scam, just like the impeachment of your president is a scam.
Pickle!